and ever had a brush with fame. See, this one ties in the same way. These guys, the same guys from the previous story, my friends from across the street, called me one day all flipping out excited because they were invited to play at the Whiskey A Go-Go, which is a pretty prestigious venue in Hollywood, California. It's a place where the Doors got their big break. I mean, a lot of really famous, it's a really iconic place if you're a music lover to visit in Hollywood. And so they're all stoked. You know, they'd sent a tape in and gotten a letter back from the promotional guy saying, yeah, we'd love to have you guys come down and play. So they're like, oh, dude, you got to come with us. You know, we're going to play the Whiskey. And I was stoked for them, so I said, sure. So we all go down to Hollywood, show up at the Whiskey A Go-Go. They're all starstruck. I'm starstruck. I'm all swept up in it, too. We go in, you know, really early on the day that they're supposed to play to find out, you know, what we do, when do we go on, when do we come. And this guy drops the bomb on us. It turns out that it's kind of a racket to play at the Whiskey A Go-Go for an unsigned band because you are responsible for selling tickets to your own show. I think it was like $250 worth of tickets you had to sell. Otherwise, your slot was filled with somebody else. So it's kind of an asshole thing to do the day of the fucking show. He hands us a bunch of tickets and says, $250 worth of tickets or you don't go on. And so we're panicking. We're like walking up and down the street like, we don't know anybody in fucking LA, you know? How do we sell that? So we break up the tickets. We're walking up and down fucking Hollywood Boulevard trying. Nobody's buying. I think we sold, it was pitiful. Like in 3 or 4 hours of trying, we sold like 3 or 4 fucking tickets to this thing. And they're all fucking disheartened. They're like, we're not going to be able to fucking do it. This sucks. You know, what a fucking letdown. And so I made an executive decision. I went over. I didn't have the fucking money, but I did it anyway. Because I did not want to see these guys come all the way to LA and almost play this venue and not get to do it. And I overdrew my fucking account and took out, like, I think it was like $200 that they needed after the 2 or 3 or 4 tickets that they'd sold. And I just gave it to them. And I said, here, now we don't have to sell them. They're sold. I bought them all. And so we just passed them out for free. So we spent the last hour or so passing them out for free. They were ecstatic. They got to play their show. It was really cool. And they wanted to hang out and get drunk afterwards. So we're all drinking at the Whiskey, having a fucking fantastic time. And I decide that I'm going to step outside to the front of the Whiskey A Go-Go and have a cigarette. And here's where the brush with fame came in. I'm standing out there smoking a cigarette, and I'm looking across, you know, Hollywood Boulevard. And I see these people, this entourage of people, like 20 people walking. And I'm looking, and at the center of this mass of people is this really tall, large, loud, blonde woman. And so I'm sitting there, and I'm smoking, and I'm watching these people. And they go up a little bit, and they cross the street, and they're going to cross in front of the Whiskey A Go-Go. As they're crossing the street, I finally realize who this is. It's Anna Nicole Smith, right? I'm not a fan of Anna Nicole Smith's, but it was weird. It was, you know, for me, it was just like, holy shit, fucking Anna Nicole Smith is just going to walk by me. And so I'm drunk and kind of like staring it down because her entourage is the weirdest collection of fucks you've ever seen. I mean, there was I think it's a dwarf is the preferred nomenclature, no? There was a little person who I identified as, I believe it was Bridget the Midget of porn fame. She's probably the most well-known little person porn actress, was with Anna Nicole. And it's just these weird fucking people surrounding her. And so I'm gawping at these people. I'm just like, and they walk by. And I'm just like, fucking Anna Nicole Smith. Who'da fucking thunk it? Anna Nicole Smith. That's some shit. They walk by and I'm continuing to stare. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Anna Nicole stops. And they've gone about 15, 20 feet down the road from me. She stops and she turns around. And she goes, hey, you faggot. You loser, fucking faggot. And I'm just sitting there and I chuckled because I thought she was talking to somebody in her entourage. I'm like, Anna Nicole called somebody a faggot. That's funny. And she goes, no, you, motherfucker, you faggot, you right there. And she points at me and I'm like, oh, fuck. She's accosting me. And I was like, what? She goes, what the fuck are you looking at, asshole? And I was like, Anna Nicole Smith? I don't know. What? What? So when you said faggot, you meant me? She's like, yeah, I fucking meant you fucking loser. And I'll never forget this. She did the fucking, I don't know, was it Wayne's World that started this shit? She goes, you fucking loser. And all her entourage laughs, you know. And she goes on strolling down the street. And I'm left with like, what a fucked up situation this is. You know what I mean? Like, I just got called a loser by Anna Nicole Smith and a midget. And an entourage of weird hangers-on. You know what I mean? For nothing. So that was probably the weirdest brush with fame. Interestingly enough, later that night, after the next, band played their set and we were all drunk, we decided we wanted to get something to eat. We walked right down the street, right near the Whiskey A Go Go, and I forget the name of it, but there's a pizza place. Pretty famous little joint. And we go in there and we sit down and we continue to drink and I go get in line to order our pizzas. You gotta wait, up and order at the counter. And as I'm waiting there, these two guys walk in and brush by me. I'm fat, so I'm taking up a lot of space in the line. And there's one of those metal rails behind me. And so they can't just like walk by me like I'm a normal person. I'm fat. So I'm taking up half the fucking line or more. So they have to go, excuse me, pardon me, kind of scooch by me uncomfortably. And I'm like, ooh. Anyway, we ate our pizza and continued to get drunk. And I'm belligerent drunk at this point. And I asked the waitress when she brings our check, I'm like, the question she probably gets 50 times a day from every drunk idiot that eats at that place. So you ever get any, like, famous people? Did the famous people come here to eat pizza? And she kind of laughs. And everybody's like, dude, that's fucking, of course they do. And she's like, no, it's not why I'm laughing. She said, do you guys not see who was sitting like one table over from you guys just now? The people sitting in one table over from us were the guys that brushed by me. Excuse me, sorry, pardon me, brushed by my fat ass on their way to their table. And they'd sat down right at the table next to us. And I think this is just a great thing it like highlights how we just don't look at each other in this society. We don't want to know people. We don't want to be involved in whatever you're doing. We've got our own thing going on. We've kind of got the blinders going. She goes, did you not see who was sitting at that table right there? I said, no, who's sitting at the table? She goes, you guys were sitting like 5 feet from Leonardo DiCaprio and Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man. And we all start laughing. I'm like, what the fuck ever? She goes, no, seriously. She's like, they come here all the time. So I just think it's funny that you asked me the question that I always get asked, and you guys literally were 5 feet away from like the two biggest stars in Hollywood. So that was a literal brush with fame because both of them had to brush by my, big fat ass on their way to their table that night. But, yeah.